Alright guys, so this is a quick walk around video on my 1993 and a half Toyota Supra Mark IV. I want to do a walk around to show you guys about the car, do a cold start, run through kind of the details on it, give you a little bit of the background information, and yeah, just fill you in. Before we get started on the car itself though, I want to walk over and show you some of the documents on the car that come with it. This is all stuff that's come with the car when I got it from the previous owner. This is the old alarm system and speaker manual. It's got a owner's manual. Imagine that's pretty rare. Whatever this Toyota supplement owner's guide is, it was part of the Toyota roadside assistance package back in 1993. Pretty cool. Got the original window sticker here from when it was brand new. It's got a Supra brochure. For some reason it's a 97 brochure. I don't know what the story is on that, but anyway, Supra brochure, probably pretty worth some money. 93 repair manual. It also comes with a lot of just odds and ends, some of the stock parts that I haven't sold, whatever I still have, I said I'll include with the car. This was the only thing that was done to it when I got it. It was completely stock, other than this very cool mid-90s stereo. This Pioneer stereo here apparently was like $5,000 in the mid-90s. I don't know what this is actually. It's some stickers with the VIN number and stuff on it, something to do with when it was imported originally, I'm guessing. I don't really know. Then it also comes with this Street Power magazine. I'm not sure the story on it. Just came with the car when I got it, so kind of cool. So anyway, I'll give you the lowdown history on the car. It was non-turbo automatic car originally when I got it. I've owned the car for almost 4 years now, like 3.5 years. It was completely stock when I got it. It's now a 6-speed car. It has the GTE turbo engine, which is out of a Supra. Runs like a champ. Anyway, we'll do a quick walk around here of the outside, go over the car. As you can see, it's in really good shape. There's no rust on it anywhere at all. Like, the thing is pretty damn immaculate. It only has 34,000 miles on it. When I got it, it had like 32,500. So yeah, I don't drive it very much. The paint is really in pretty much perfect condition. For being as old as it is and being original paint. It's a clear title car, no accidents. I'm the second owner of this car. The original owner, when he got it, he was the original owner and the first person to export it from the USA to me here in Canada, and he had it ever since. The story is he had the car. It sat in a heated storage container for 12 years, sitting and chilling, and ended up sending the car to auction. Something happened to him, I'm not sure, and I ended up picking it up from the little used car dealer in Halifax, Nova Scotia, that got this car from the auction. So I can only imagine what they paid for it. I wouldn't want to know, but they picked it up. They changed all the fluids, redid all the everything that it needed, new tires, new battery, and all that kind of stuff from sitting, as you can imagine. But all of that stuff is long gone because, like I said, it was a non-turbo automatic when I got it, and it's not anymore. The only thing that is wrong with this paint job anywhere, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, you can see it a little bit in the light there. There's a little crease right here in the hood. I talked to a PDR guy who said he could get that out for me. He's since moved out west, lost his contact, so if I had a good PDR guy, I'd probably get them to pull it. But that's literally it. You know, it is black. I'm not a detailer by any means. You know, I've waxed the car. I don't drive it much, but I've waxed the car, and I'm sure it could use a buff and a ceramic coat. That would make a world of difference in the quality of the paint, the look of the paint when it's outside during the daytime. But other than that, like, it's the paint's in phenomenal shape. So you can see it just, yeah, it could, to be honest, I think a quick buff and a ceramic coat would take this car to the next level. And that dent, and then I would say it's a 10 out of 10 on the exterior. Other than that, there's no other dents, I don't think, anywhere on the car. Thought that was one there. It's just a bug crawling up the corner. That's it on the outside. So on the outside, I've kept it pretty stock. It does have the 97, 98 taillights in there. I did do a rear wiper delete. Just never been a big fan of the rear wipers. So I've got this anodized, black anodized fitting plug in there. And yeah, I think that looks pretty sleek. You can't tell that it ever had a rear wiper. Yeah, the wheels and tires, they're 18 by 8.5 in the front, 18 by 10.5 in the rear. They're just XXRs. I wish they were something better. They're not. But I do like them on the car. I did this super trick, cool Batman center cap. You can see the rotors are a little rusty. I haven't driven the car in more than a week. I washed it and pulled it back into the garage a week ago. So anyway, those rotors will clean right up, I promise. The headlights are still the 93 headlights. I just took the housings apart and painted them black to look like the 97s. Yeah, I think I did a pretty good job. I did that. That was like one of the first things I did to the car, like over 3 years ago, and they still look quite good. I don't think there's any peeling or any bubbling. They've never fogged up or anything like that, so no concerns there. I did a good job sealing them. It does have the 97, 98 clear marker lights on the outside as well, as you can see. The other thing different from stock is the big front mount intercooler you can see in there, and then it's got a, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on this side. Yeah, there it is. You can see the blow-off valve just hiding, just peeking through. Yeah, so that's just a bit on the outside. The tires are pretty much brand new. Still, I don't know how many miles they have on them, but it's not many. There's all kinds of tread on those. Those are Firestone Firehawks. I actually really like them. They hook up surprisingly well, considering the amount of power the car has. I would buy another set of these for sure. The 275s on the back and 225s on the front. The exhaust, I'll talk about it real quick since I'm standing here. It's HKS carbon titanium muffler, and it's a full custom stainless steel 4-inch right from the turbo back. We'll go through that in a few minutes here. So on the inside of the car, as you can see, it's pretty clean. It's in damn near factory condition on the inside, other than the modifications that I've done. But other than that, it is, I would say, a 9.5 out of 10. Supra guys are pretty picky, maybe 9 out of 10 on the inside. But I mean, the seats are in quite good shape. There's a little bit of cracking on the bolster there, but it's not rough or anything like that. I think that would be years and years and years before it cracked, if ever. They're still comfortable. They're in great shape. The passenger seat's in even better shape than the driver's one. So you can see no rips or anything on the bolsters. The back seats, I don't know if they've ever been used, to be honest with you, but anyway, they're like factory condition. Hop in the inside here. So it's pretty clean and simple on the inside. It does have a Pioneer, or a Kenwood rather. I think it's a DDX 371 doubled in head unit. It has the Bluetooth little microphone tucked up here on the corner. My 3.5 inch VTI CAN bus gauge. We'll go over that here when we do the startup. Gauges are stock. I wanted to keep it clean and simple, so that VTI gauge does everything for me. These are the ADS component speakers. They came with the car They sound really good. They are, I think, one of the very few things that I left in here. Other than that, everything else was done by me. Their components as well in the rear. We'll go over the stereo as well. I'll show you the trunk, what's going on there. Not much, but I'll show you what's going on in the trunk here. We'll do the exciting part and go through under the hood first. The only other cool thing I'll mention while I'm in here, this is a WRX STI shift knob. I just always really liked these shift knobs. I had an STI once, and I always said when I get a Supra, I'm going to put one in my Supra, and I did. It does have the reverse lockout on there as well, which is functional. Yeah, it's a v161 6-speed transmission. We'll go through that in a minute here as well. The only other cool thing on the inside, hidden within the ashtray here, is the boost controller switch. So this controls the AM. It's a 12 position switch connected to the AM Infinity. So when we want more boost, we just turn up the adjustment just like that, and the computer adds more boost, compensates the tune for it. This thing can add meth, or it can do like switch from a gas tune to an E85 tune. I think you can do damn near anything with this switch. So 0 is a low boost mode, obviously, and then it's just up from there. On the inside here, it does have the OEM target tool with the plugs and everything in there as well. Not much going on there. Let's pop the hood. All right. So coming around to this side, actually, I'm going to show you this real quick though before we pop the hood. Even the doors, like the doors still, when I open and close these and shut it, it shuts just like a brand new factory car, just like you would expect in the showroom. So under the hood here, the first thing you might notice, it doesn't have a prop rod anymore. It's got the hood strut conversion. It's pretty slick. Those work great. I like it. The engine is a GTE vvti out of a Supra. I have had this engine in the car for about 1,500 kilometers, I believe. It works like a champ. When I bought it from a guy that I know who compression tested the engine. It compression tested perfectly. It's all stock on the inside other than ARP head studs. Then new OEM Toyota head gasket when it was put back together. It has a catch can in here as well. There's never any blow by in there at all. The thing is obviously tight. The catch can actually drains into the inner fender, as you can see going into the bottom. There's just a little plug you remove to drain it, and yeah, that never has anything in it. It just never blows by. Obviously this engine is nice and tight. I don't know the exact kilometers on the engine, but anyway, it runs perfect. Going over what's going on under the hood here. So all the 6-speed conversion parts were brand new. So the clutch reservoir, the slave, the master, the brake pedal, the tunnel, all of that was done with OEM Toyota parts, brand new when I did the conversion to the 6-speed. Yeah, so even the brake fluid, I changed that myself. So I don't think there is a fluid in this car that has more than probably 500 kilometers on it, or 1,000 at max, but probably 500 or less, including the engine oil. The engine oil, it's always had synthetic oil changes. The transmission has the very expensive OEM Toyota V160 fluid. That stuff's like, I think, $90 a liter I paid for that. The differential as well is 6-speed turbo differential that has the OEM Toyota fluid. Again, that wouldn't have 500 kilometers on it. The turbo is a Precision 6768 CEA with the billet wheel on it. I just had that rebuilt. The guy named Albert Mead in Phoenix did that for me. It wouldn't have like 200 kilometers on it since the rebuild. doesn't smoke, runs like a champ. The turbo itself, the housing has been modified down here. This elbow was added so it could be V-banded to the intercooler piping to do it right. And it's also ceramic coated. The exhaust housing, I'll throw in a turbo blanket. I do have a turbo blanket for this, but it's fraying a little bit, so I don't like running it. But the exhaust housing as well was modified to run a 4-inch right off the housing. So it's a full 4-inch exhaust right from the turbo out. It's a Bosch 4.2 LSU wideband. It's got just a Mac valve in there. You can see all the boost control lines are all braided stainless steel. These things are rated for like 3,000 psi, I believe. More than adequate to do the job. Dump tube here just dumps out under the car. It's precision 39 millimeter wastegate. Over here you can see it's got a Supra store extended drain line with a dash 10 drain. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but it goes down onto the pan, and it is all nicely welded and everything down there to the pan. It's all properly done. The thermostat housing was clocked to clear everything a little bit better. VRP AN feed line that works fantastically. It's got a Rev 9, just a cast manifold. I just wanted a cast manifold, to be honest with you. I've had too many bad experiences with tubular manifolds, so I went with cast on purpose. This was ported and port matched to maximize the flow there as well. The engine harness here, so the engine harness was completely scratch built by Alan Jones at High Boost Motorsports. He did an awesome job. Everything, looks like factory still. Plugs right into the AM Infinity controlling the car. It does have an E85 plug. It's just, I've got it tucked up under the manifold here, but the car is all wired for E85. So if you have it, you would just need to adjust the fuel system accordingly, and probably bigger injectors in a tune, whatever you're going to do, and you'd be E85 ready. But it's all wired. The hard part is done anyway. Aeromotive, fuel pressure regulator, all the fuel lines are braided dash 8, I believe, from the tank. It's got a Russell inline fuel filter on there as well. That would have, I don't know, less than 500 kilometers on it. It's got 2 Walbro 255s in the tank to feed this girl. She is thirsty when she's in boost. It's not that bad when it's out of boost though. Precision 1260 cc injectors. If you can see them down there. Drift motion oil cap. Strut tower bar. That's a Vibrant strut tower bar. The drive-by-wire, we maintain that, and I'm really happy we did. It runs fantastically. The combination of the not so big of a turbo, 67 millimeters is not huge in a Supra, vvti, the drive-by-wire, the 6-speed. This car is a heck of a street car. It really is. Drives fantastically. See, under the bay here is perfectly clean, not a lick of rust. It's never been shaved or anything. This is all the original paint under here. And yeah, anyway, it's got a custom cooling plate on there that is black powder coated. The intercooler piping you can see is all this is not just paint, it's black powder coat, and that was all V-banded and everything where I could. The intercooler itself is I think it's a Godspeed. Nothing really worth mentioning, to be honest with you, the intercooler itself, but it is, I believe, a 4-inch core, and it's got the nice, you probably can't see them here, but it does have the nice flexible couplers on the end. So it's not just like the cheap eBay couplers or anything. Those couplers, I think, were like $60 a pop or something stupid. Weaponar power steering tank. It's got the braided line to the power steering pump to the rack too, so you can get rid of that big nasty OEM one. Yeah, anyway, that's under the hood. Let's let's just go in the trunk real quick. I want to show you that. So the trunk is really the only place that this car is lacking. I just never got to the point where I could make up my mind what I was going to do back here. And I was planning to do meth injection and relocate the battery to the trunk. So the trunk was a little cut up when the old owner installed the CD changer in there. So it wasn't worth putting back in. I just left it like this. I planned, like I said, to relocate the battery back here and probably then end up I'd have a meth injection tank back here as well. So I mean, that's really the only thing that's lacking. But I mean, the amplifiers back here, this is the speaker amp and then the subwoofer amp. I do have a Rockford Fosgate sub. I'll throw in this for you as well. Just the sub is 10-inch if you wanted to throw that back in. Got the cargo cover on there. It's all wired for the sub too, I should mention. Everything's there. You literally just need to hook it up, throw a sub in, and you're done. Let's do the exciting part. Let's do a cold start. Okay, so for the record, I have not started this car in probably over a week now. The last time I did start it, it was just to start it, roll it out of the garage, to wash it and then put it back in. So this is as cold as it gets. And actually, I'm going to prove that by coming around here and just showing you. There's my hand right on the housing of the turbo, right on the manifold. I'm touching this thing. So it is as cold as can be. I just want to give you guys a good idea. The car has an AM Infinity on it, which was tuned by Vlad at National Speed. He really knocked it out of the park. It starts just like a factory car with this Infinity and those big injectors in there. Minus the whiny fuel pumps, but that's to be expected when you're running this much fuel. Some BTI gauge coming on. You probably heard the fuel pumps come on. Just going to shut the stereo down here so it doesn't start playing some embarrassing music. Alright, here we go. So there it is. No check engine lights or anything. That light's on just because my door's open. There we go. Close my door. All the lights are off. Seatbelt light, of course. Yeah, car starts perfectly every time. The BTI gauge going on over here. You can see everything that's going on with the car, where it wants to idle, target, boost. If I come over here, flick my boost controller up from 0, so right now you can see the target boost is 12.2 pounds. Flick that to setting 1 and setting 2. You can see the boost go up. That's as far as I've gotten, up to 16 pounds right now, because I've been meaning to add meth injection to it. I just haven't yet, but anyway, the car's certainly ready for it. You can see 34,503 miles on it. Still like brand new, and we'll just do a walk around with the car running outside. As you can see, all the lights are working. Engine's nice and quiet. Yeah, runs like a champ. Perfectly smooth. Love driving this car. Be really sad to let it go, but that's about it. Anyway, if you have any questions, just send me a message or give me a call. Look up my info on the forum or Kijiji or wherever you're seeing this ad for sale. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.